Woo! I love it. Yes. What is up, you guys? Happy Thursday, everybody out there in social media world. This is another car buying tip. Actually, this is 3 of my favorite ways to save money in buying a car. So if you are in the car business right now looking to buy or lease a car, that's what I like to do for my business. But anyways, here are 3 pretty common fundamental traits. Probably the third one is not as common, but I love to use this one. And by all means, jump in the comments here. Let me know what's worked for you when you're negotiating or getting the best deal for a car, because some things I don't know, maybe things that have not worked for you. But again, let us know in the comments. That's always super helpful for everybody. And let us know about your car victories. But again, I want to talk about 3 things that have worked for me. And then the last one, probably something that's not as common, but I think it works pretty dang well. So you tell me if it's ever worked for y'all. So let's go right into the story and let's tell you about the 3 things that are awesome to do in the car dealership to save some money. All right, so first things first, when you are looking to buy your car, know the model, the make, and everything that you want. So if it's Toyota, Chevy, Ford, whatever, narrow it down, do your diligence online, save yourself some time from driving around. But once you know the car and the make that you like, and you've kind of done a broad-based search using TrueCar, Kelley Blue Book, the Black Book, whatever you like for a pricing algorithm, once you kind of know a range that is fair and good pricing for that car, start looking at the dealerships that you have around locally and seeing if they have that make and model. Once you have narrowed down those dealerships that have your car, the first tip I will share with you is, if you are like me, I don't give a shit about color, the interior, whatever, because at the end of the day, it's kind of a business thing for me. The car depreciates, it goes from A to B, that's really it. So a lot of times I just buy the base model. So some people are a little more particular. I get it, it might not work for you. But the first tip is, the dealer has to have the car on the lot, on the ground, not in transit. Okay, I know the market's a little squirrely right now and cars aren't always, rapidly abundant. So if you're just watching this video and it's 2023-ish range, the supply is still getting a little bit better, but not quite there. Just make sure the cars are on the lot for the dealer, because they want to get inventory off that lot and on the books and make that money in that sale. So again, this tip is, if you're going to negotiate what they have on the lot and don't be particular. So again, make sure the car is on the lot, on the ground. That is the best way to negotiate. If the car's in transit, they're less likely to really do much of a deal with you. Anything on the ground that's inventoried, they want to move that product, and the longer it sits on the lot, the more motivated they will to give you that deal. So for me, I wanted an IS 300, and I checked all of the 5 dealerships in the area here in Arizona. And that's when I started my negotiating from there, and then it rolled into the second thing. It's what I did. All right, so now that you've made sure the dealers have your car and they're in stock, the next tip is timing. I know timing can't be perfect in the world if you need a car, but hear me out. For this example, for Lexus, they have 2 major car events. They have December to Remember, and then they have the Golden Sales Event. The Golden Sales Event is typically the end of Lexus's fiscal year. Why is that important? Well, if you're buying Chevy and Ford, figure out when those end of the years are, because car salesmen, managers, GMs, they all have sales quotas, numbers, and end of the year bonuses. So for the end of the fiscal year, the Golden Sales Event for Lexus, you're talking about an end of the month, an end of the quarter, and an end of the year. You got all of this wrapped into a mega bonus. So if there are a couple cars short, they don't give a damn if they lose money on that unit. They want it off the ground and check the box, and they want that big bonus. So if your car is on the lot, as part of step 1, step 2 is timing. And if they're at the end of the year, end of the month kind of sales quota bonuses there, they are going to be super motivated to get your ass on that dealership, signing that paperwork, and they'll probably give you a much better deal. It's worked always for me, and I try to time it because I'm a Lexus Toyota man. I always try to time it around that August, July window when they're really super motivated to move units. And then that leads me to my third tip. Not as common, but I use it all the time and it works extremely well for me. Let me know if you guys have done it before, so let's talk about that. All right, listen to me very closely. This is part of the last step, tip number 3. Once you got your car, the numbers all look good, the sales manager and the sales team are ready to do the deal, they're going to send you to the final boss. Usually that's the F&I department. That's when it gets, the rubber meets the road. Now, depending on who you get, sometimes you might get Large Marge, who's ready to give it to you and get the best she can out of you on the back end of that deal. Or they might actually do the good cop, bad cop role with you in the F&I department, whereabouts they kind of like what happened to me, they give you Sweet Susie. Again, these are just examples. They're probably wonderful people, and I apologize if your name is Marge. Marge is a wonderful name too. But again, they'll either be super sweet to you or they'll be very competitive and aggressive to you. So what I want you to do at this point in time, this is what has worked for me on this third tip, is when you get to the end, the F&Is, their whole part of the deal is to pack as much as they can into that deal, whether it's premium tires, insurance for your tires, car tent, gap insurance, whatever that looks like. They want to just add on to the deal on the back end. There's a lot of money to be made for the dealer there, so they usually put their top rated salespeople or their most senior people who are good at doing it. Just say no to everything. And what I always like to do is once the sales manager and everybody thinks that the deal's pretty much done and they're just trying to get a little bit more out of the sweetheart of the deal, walk away. So I could tell when I was saying no to the F&I department when I was last with them, they were getting frustrated with me. I just said, you know what, ma'am, you're a little frustrated. It's making me a little uncomfortable. Let me go talk to my salespeople real quick. I walk out of the office and I walk my ass right out of that dealership. Dude, I'm telling you, it works beautifully. Last time I did it, the sales manager was running out the damn dealership like, Matthew, we were so close. Like, what happened? Why, you don't want to do the deal? I thought we had all the numbers down. And I just said, you know what? I'm very uncomfortable and I need to take my time on this. And I just don't like to feel pressured on doing a deal. Guess what they'll do? They will 100% be calling you nonstop and the following day. And this is where you make your money. Say, you know what? For me, my payment was like $475. I said, I'd be a little more comfortable if I could get it down to about $440. The guy's like, oh, I don't know about that, Matthew. And you know what he did? He ended up calling me back and about an hour later after that. He says, if you can come back in, we won't pressure you and we'll do your deal at $445. Saving that extra $30 saved me an extra $1,000 on a 3-year lease. So walk away. That is even if you love the numbers, walk away. It has always saved me more money because I'll then come back at them and say, you know what? I'm just not fully committed. I need a little bit more off the top. That's how you get them on the back end of the deal, using their leverage against them. So in conclusion, these are my 3 best tips. Make sure that they have your favorite car on the lot because they're more negotiable if they have the car in stock. Number 2, if you can time it when they have their sales events, bonuses, end of the year, end of the month kind of things, that's another way to leverage to get a better deal. And thirdly, walk away. If you're able to walk away at any point in time, especially near the end where they think the deal is already done, it psychologically throws them off bad and you've actually turned the table on them. And I guarantee you, you will get a better deal. Let me know in the comments if you guys have used any of these tips or tricks before. I love hearing about your victories. Good luck to you guys out there if you're buying a car. And again, always feel free to comment. I try to jump in the comments as much as I can and get back to you guys chatting. Have an awesome week. Thanks so much for watching, you guys.